Today is the 9th day of 100 in our journey creating a Flask app from scratch. Today I recreated the user profile. I redesigned it and I added a lot of functionality to it. So I wanted to show you what I did. Then I explain line by line or function by function what I did in the code. So here we have the user profile. When we go to the user profile, here you have the profile, my profile. When you click here, you can choose a picture to set as your profile. Here we can choose this one, and as you can see, it will set this picture as our profile picture. And in order to update it, you just click here, and here you can see the message profile updated. And at the bottom here we have the name of the account owner. Here is the status, whether the person is online or not. I created this functionality so that every user online status will be tracked in a 5-minute increment. So within a 5-minute window, the app will record when they were last seen. So here I am obviously online here, and here is edit profile. When you click this link, you will see the edit user profile, and you can change the name, you can change the email, you can change the password of the current user, you can add the bio of the current user. Here I haven't added the followers and following. I haven't done that yet. We will do that in the next tutorial. But this will store the followers the user has, the following the user has, and the number of posts. Here is the bio, sites admin in my case. Here when the user was joined in the app, and here is a functionality that the user can turn on or off. This is a way to set your profile private. If you set the profile private like I did now, no other user can view the profile unless they request to view it. And underneath this switch, you have a request. You have a request to view other users' profiles. Here I sent a request to other user, Scotty in this case. Here Scotty is offline. So this is a way to send requests to other users. And at the bottom, you can see it is approved. This will show whether it is approved, or you can cancel the request if you no longer want to send the request. Also, you can view in your profile, you can view who sent you requests, and this would be now this user doesn't have the post, but when the user has post, it will have a pagination. It will have page 1, 2, or 3, or whatever amount of pages that he has, and it will show up here at the bottom. Let's try to test the request. Did the request sent and request received? I will log off this user, and I will log on to test user here. And when we go to the test user's profile, we don't have, there's some error. We don't have a profile. So if we click here, and let's say we want to choose this instead, we choose this, and we update this profile. Now you can see that this user has this image. They are online, obviously, and as you can see, they are still online because we coded, in the code that within a 5-minute window, anyone would be considered online. That's not probably a good idea, but for testing purposes, we will set a 5-minute window to show online. I think this person already accepted. Let's check another one. Maybe we check Scotty. As you can see, when we go to the Scotty's profile, we see this block. See that account is private. You want to request it, so we click here, request access, and we requested the access here. So if we go down to request sent, as you can see here, we have Scotty and we have pending status. We can cancel the request. So if we click here, as you can see, the request was cancelled. We don't have anything here. Let's request to view Scotty's profile and go to Scotty, and we request it. We log off. We sign as Scotty. When we go to the Scotty's profile and we go to the request received, we get the test user that sent the request. So now we can approve it. We can ignore it. So if we click approve, now they are approved and the status changed here. This would be earlier request that I was testing. So if you log off now and you sign in with a test user and you go to the profile, we go to the Scotty's profile now. Now we should be able to view the Scotty's profile because they approved our access. So that is a way to send a request and to receive the request. If we go to our profile, Max, and we try to update the profile, we can add something here. We can say, here is a simple update. And we say save changes. I don't want to change the password here. And we say save changes. So you can see your profile has been updated. So here you can see our update. Here is a simple update. It demonstrated how to send a request, how to receive a request, and you can either ignore it, approve it, cancel it. Now I will explain what I did. I will explain what I did. Here I have a transcript telling you the summary, what I did coding. Here is the date 9th, obviously. User profile is the focus. So I created a models.py file inside the blueprint. We already have models.py that will cover the entire application, but we need models.py inside the user's blueprint. Here's the models.py for the entire app, and here is the models.py for the user's blueprint. That's only focused on user's side. We created models.py in the user's blueprint. We created a profile view request, a table inside the models.py class. We imported this class profile inside the create app. If we go to the init file that serves the entire app, where the create app exists, at the bottom here, we imported the profile view request. Otherwise, the application wouldn't register the table. Then we created the account is private or account private functionality. We also created the request to view the account, accept, reject, or ignore functionality for the viewing of the account. We also set the account to private functionality. We set the online offline functionality, and here are the files that we added to the app. HTML, we added account is private, edit post, edit profile, received requests, sent requests. Python side, we added the models.py file in the user's blueprint, the CSS file. The CSS file, we added user.css inside the user's blueprint static folder. Here, we created a CSS folder, and we created inside it two files, request.css and user CSS to style the pages. For JavaScript, we created two files, request.js and user.js, to have functionality for the profile. When the user wants to click the profile and wants to change the profile, these files will be called. And we also created the thumbnails folder. It will host the images, the profile images. Here you can see thumbnails inside the static folder. And here are the files that I edited. The models.py. These models would be the models that serves the entire application. We edited because I wanted to add some fields to the user table. We added the table, the profile view table, to the create app function inside the init, the main init file. I also edited the routes file inside the user's blueprint, and also added some forms inside the user blueprints. So let's go to the models.py that's attached to the app folder. It's the models.py. Here I created a relationship. Here is the relationship table. This table stores the allowed viewers table. It will store the owner of the profile and the viewer ID. This will track the users that are allowed to view certain profiles. And here is the user table. We haven't changed the core fields, the ID, username, email, password, hash, create at, bio. We haven't changed. We added thumbnail URL to store each user's thumbnail URL, and it will be nullable because we want to set the thumbnail later. Here is the post. We haven't changed this, and here we haven't changed. Here I added this field is private, a boolean field, to check if the user's profile is private, and again it will be nullable to true. The default will be false. The default will be every user profile is by default public. And here is the allowed users relationship. So we will have a secondary field, allowed viewers. Primary would be also allowed viewers. So essentially we capture the owner ID, the profile owner ID, and the viewer ID, and we store it here. I added last seen a field to track when the user is online or offline. This function, it will check when the user is online, and it will return it. And here is the 300 seconds that we set for the window. As long as the user was online, in the last 5 minutes, we will consider that online. Again, it's not a good practice. Usually, the social media applications, they track to the millisecond, but for testing purposes, we only want to check the last 5 minutes. You can change it to 1 minute if you want, or 30 seconds if you want. Yeah, we didn't change anything in the user table for set password or check password. Is the same thing. We haven't touched the post table, and I think we changed anything else in the models.py that's attached to the app.py. So in the main init file for the application, you have to make sure that the profile view request is imported at the bottom after user. It has to be after user because profile view request relies on the user existing. In here, inside the create app function, we track the user when they are last seen. I edited also the routes.py inside the user's blueprint. So I commented here user profile and access. In this function, it will resize the image to make sure that we are not storing large images, and then we return the the picture name. Here in the user route, we accept the username, we query the user, the form, and we check here if the user that goes to that profile, the profile is private, and the current user is not the one that is visiting the profile. And also the current user is not already allowed, it's not allowed to view the profile. So essentially this line, we are checking if the user is allowed to view the profile. If they are not allowed to view it, then we will force them to request the permission to view the profile by calling this a function. Here is the same thing for the last time, the page, the pagination, the post, and here we have sent requests and received requests, and we will show inside the user we show the sent requests and the received requests that they have. And here we pass the profile big form. We pass profile big form into the template because we want to change the thumbnail of the user if they want. We pass it here because the function that actually uploads the picture doesn't return any templates. So we have to pass it here. In the upload route, it doesn't take any user, and it has the profile, a big form, and it sets the thumbnail URL by calling the resize and save picture function, and it passes the form picture data, and it saves the picture URL and redirects to the user. This route account is private. This is a way to check the permission, whether the user can access the account or not. So we take the user that wants to, the username that wants to access the account, and we query it here, and we have a form, a profile view request form to request the permission, and we check here if they already requested. We check here if they already requested by getting their profile, the requester ID and the profile owner ID. We pass the empty form here because we're not getting any data from the user form wise. We're not getting that. So we pass an empty form here. We have an account is private, .html, the title, the form, the user has requested here, empty form. This route set account to private will set the profile to private. So we get the username. The user wants to access a profile that is not theirs. It will generate a 403 form. I think I already have 403 created. We go to the errors blueprint, and we go to the templates inside the errors. Yeah, I already have 403 here. Permission denied. Go back to the home base, and inside the handler here we have permission denied 403. So we can actually instead of abort, you can say return a redirect URL for errors permission denied. We'll say errors dot permission denied. So if the user is not allowed to view the user profile, we will show 403. Then we have empty form here, and if the user wants to set their account private, it will set here is private, and here we flash the message here, and we read that to the user profile after they set their account to private. The next route would be edit profile, and here we have edit profile form. We validate the form, we get the username, email, and bio, and we set the password if the user wants to set the password, and we do the regular stuff. Save the form data, and we return the the template. Inside the profile view request functions, when we want to request the account permission, we get the username, we query the username, and if the user already requested, then we show that, and we say you already requested. Otherwise, we request the permission. And here is cancel request, essentially the opposite what we did the previous. So we get the user and we check if there is already a permission request, and then we delete the request. We retract our request. And here is the send request route. It will return the whatever request that the user sent. Here is retract a request. This will retract the request that we made. And here is the request received. Here is approve request, where we approve it. Here is reject request. We reject the request. And here we ignore it. This would be ignore request route. So that is the routes file inside the user's blueprint. We did obviously the CSS styling, and we did JavaScript for handling the thumbnail clicks. Also, we added a couple of forms in the user's blueprint. We added a couple of forms. So if we go to the forms, here we imported file field, file allowed, file required for the profile pic form, except the file here. And here, edit a profile form. We accept the username, email, and bio, password, confirm password, and submit. Here, the profile view request form. We get the owner ID, and when we are requesting to view the account that we want to view, here's the empty form. So I think that would be it for this tutorial. The major editing happened the routes file inside the user's blueprint. So study that and let me know if you have any errors or you have any questions. The rest of the code is the same. It's no different than what we were doing. I added a lot of HTML rendering templates so that wouldn't need any explanation. Repeats, so it's not something new. But what I wanted to tell you is the functions and the routes that I created inside the user's blueprint in routes. So thank you for watching, and if you find this helpful, please subscribe. Please give this video a like, and the code will always be in the description below. So find it there and let me know if you have any questions.